Hello, welcome to the video. Before we begin, I have a very important message for you, and I'm going to tell you the future of the channel and what happened to our original channel, the Scorpio Scriptures. The Scorpio Scriptures podcast has been alive for just about 2 years, and we're about to hit 20,000 subscribers. We had over 1,000 videos in our catalog, and we averaged about 15,000 listeners and views a day. So, this podcast is a kind of a relaunch of the past podcast where people can go back and see our work. I'm going to explain exactly what happened to you, and I have an official letter from YouTube, the Becky team, going over what happened. So basically what happened is our official account got terminated due to a quote-unquote glitch in the matrix in the system. I'm going to read you this letter, and then I'm going to explain to you what's going to happen from here on out. So if this is your first time listening to this message, it's very important to understand what's going to happen to the Scorpio Scriptures podcast, okay? The podcast is going to begin after this. Just listen here. So here is the official letter I got from YouTube right here. Dear Master J, or whom it may concern, I'm a member of the YouTube moderation team. My name is Becky Smith. Your consistency and desire to help others is admirable, and I truly respect how you have consistently helped your community and answered their questions and relationships with astrology and Scorpio men. You're welcome, Becky. However, there is one big problem that has violated our YouTube terms. You have consistently mentioned in your channel your disdain for Geminis and constantly ridicule a woman named Becky. I have been a big fan of your channel and took this as a funny joke. It wasn't until now, as my ex-husband, who was a Scorpio man who used to watch your channel as well, recently left me for a Virgo rising woman with a Pisces moon, who I know you are very fond of, as you mentioned your mother and your twin flame also have these placements. My ex-husband told me he has evolved beyond my understanding as a Scorpio and that he no longer wants to be married as a Gemini. As a result, in reviewing your content, we are filing this as hate speech, and we are permanently terminating your Scorpio Scriptures podcast with a 0% chance of account recovery due to violations of YouTube terms, also known as hate speech. This has nothing to do with my personal situations. It is simply due to the fact that your information, although aimed to help people, can be misinterpreted and can cause men to act absurdly. This is nothing personal. I am just keeping YouTube a safe place and following corporate protocol. I hope you do not misunderstand. Thank you for your contributions to the YouTube platform. I wish you the best in your future's endeavors, and I will never date or marry a Scorpio man again thanks to you. Sincerely, Becky Smith. P.S. Yes, I am really a Gemini, and no, I do not have all my placements in Gemini. P.P.S. I like Leos more than Scorpios. Anyway, so that is what happened to the old Scorpio Scriptures podcast. We were a targeted attack from BeckyTube, which I now call BeckyTube. So what's going to happen is I have done my best with my staff and my team and I, who have worked together on this project for the last 2 years, aiming to help women with their Scorpio men, right? And aiming to help people evolve and spiritually grow. We have found just about 200 of our old podcast videos. What I'm going to do is re-upload them, the videos that have been slightly edited, so the YouTube algorithm cannot find my voice nor my name or really identify it, right? So hopefully this new channel doesn't get terminated as well. We have about 50 videos that have been altered and edited where it changes my voice a little bit. We're going to re-upload those for you guys if you want to watch it. If you're a new listener, or if you're an old listener, if you enjoy the content, you can go to scorpioscriptures.com or Scorpio Scriptures Raw. You're going to find the link right here under my name. And if you want to support the channel, if you really liked what you listened to in the past 2 years, you can purchase all of that old collection, original podcasts. We have license for the music. We have the copyright all over there, and it will never, ever, ever be deleted. So if you're new to the channel, you really want to figure out your Scorpio man, or you want to consume more of the content, know that one day this video, like my old podcast, might just vanish. And if you want permanent access to it, go to scorpioscriptures.com or Scorpio Scriptures Raw, and that's what we're going to do with the channel. So we're going to stop the operations of creating more content for now, as I don't believe that I'm allowed on YouTube, or I'm not sure how this is going to work. But In the case that I vanish again and you want to archive in a true collection of all the content, the books, the programs, audiobooks, a lot of things that we sold before, all packaged into one thing, go ahead, go over to scorpioscriptures.com, and we're just going to re-upload these edited videos so it flies under the radar for now, okay? So thank you all for your support, and I hope you enjoy the podcast. I'm going to say this one more time because the Scorpio Scriptures healing facility is still open in Asia, but the podcast has been shut down. So welcome back to another episode of the Scorpio Scriptures podcast. I'm your host, Master J. This is where we talk about astrology, all things Scorpio related, and the expansion of consciousness. We just expanded on the consciousness of BeckyTube, and now we're going to get into the podcast and today's topic. So Scorpios are infamous for being wild cards. They can be your best friend, your best lover, and your worst nightmare, right? You've heard horror stories of terrible Scorpio men manipulating people. What I call the ain't shit ass Scorpio men. And then you hear the tales of Scorpio men that are the love of the woman's life and fantastic people. What I call the evolved Scorpio man. See, you gotta understand, what many people don't know is the Scorpio zodiac sign, Scorpio placement goes through 3 phases in their life. Some say 7. But overall, we can look at a definite 3 to be 100% clear. And if you're dealing with the ain't shit ass Scorpio man who is unevolved, you want to be careful for those. Because those guys, they can ruin your life. They can become stalkers. They can become creepy. Everything you don't want in a man. Toxicity, abusive, manipulative, using you for sex. Ain't shit ass Scorpio man. Evolved Scorpio man, fantastic people. Bring them home to your family, start a life with them, depend on them, excellent lovers, potential fathers, great people. Now, if you're new here, welcome back to the Scorpio Scriptures podcast. I'm your host, Master J. This is where we talk about astrology, all things Scorpio related, and the expansion of consciousness. So today, we are going to expand on the consciousness of the tests, how to know if your Scorpio man is evolved or if he ain't shit. Now, I do work in Southeast Asia. I am a shaman. I am a healer. And I guess you can call me, they call me high priest. We don't really have a word for it in English. But I'm responsible for many marriages. I'm a authority figure seen in the lives of my tribe. You know, if people want to get married, if people want to have a wedding, if people want to experience great relationships, they will come to see the spiritual specialists of their tribe. And it is my responsibility to help determine, using astrology, using energy reading, using physiognomy, using ancient secrets passed down for generations, if the family of, 2 couples can become united as one in marriage. And astrology is a great basis for that in the Vietnamese culture. Now, what I find, right, I've been doing this for many years, what I find out of all, Scorpios are the hardest to determine because you can look at a Leo, you can look at an Aquarius, you can look at a Pisces, and you can have a good idea based on their chart where they will go. But the Scorpios always give me the most trouble. I am a Scorpio as well, so I can understand this perfectly. Scorpios always give me the most trouble. Why? This is why. Scorpios come in 3 phases of evolution. So when someone gives you something on the surface and they ask you, is my man evolved? Or is my man good for marriage? I really had to look at Scorpio men in particular and break them down. This is why this channel came into fruition, right? So understanding that Scorpios go through 3 phases, you will have to run a certain sort of test on them. This is why I call this the test. How to know if your Scorpio man is evolved or if he ain't shit. Now let's break down the 3 phases. I actually have 4, but the 3 phases that the Scorpios will go through in their life. First stage, juvenile Scorpio. Juvenile Scorpio is the base of all Scorpios. They have their energy, they have their primal desire, they are ruled more by their emotions and like a carnal wild animal. These guys usually last from the teenage years of a Scorpio's life, maybe in the early 20s. Don't expect a young Scorpio to be evolved. Don't really expect many young men to be evolved, right? It's just the way men are. But especially Scorpios, you want to watch out for them. Now, when a Scorpio becomes what I call an ain't shit ass Scorpio, is when he's stuck in his juvenile phase. The only thing worse than a man child is a Scorpio man-child who has gone the wrong way. And that's when he begins to use his energy, his manipulative charms, his charisma, his swagger against women. Instead of building them up, he is destructive. Instead of being constructive in relationships, he is destructive. So this is when he is a headache. This is when he can be dangerous. This is when he can be a stalker. And I've seen these things before, right? I've seen these things before, and they're best to be avoided. Second stage of the Scorpio man becomes the eagle. Right? The eagles are more mature. They are no longer destructive in their primal, base, raw nature, and they are more constructive. And the last phase of the Scorpio man is the Phoenix. Phoenix Scorpio man has transmuted his negative energy, transmuted the wounds of the soul into love and light. And these are the most advanced of Scorpio men, and probably some of the most advanced people in general you'll ever meet in terms of consciousness, wisdom, and understanding. You'll find these guys in humanitarian acts, healers, priests. It's the life path of a Scorpio, to turn all their hate that they have faced into something positive. Now, the tests. What you want to understand is Scorpios need to be approached in a very, very, very unique way, because they're often very mysterious and they're often very private. The way to do this is to ask good questions. The way to do this is to ask good questions and don't be suspicious, alright? When dealing with Scorpio man, ask good questions, don't be suspicious, because this man is very suspicious on all things of life. And there are 3 things you want to look for when it comes to determining the evolution of each Scorpio. How he responds to these three things will tell you more all about him, because this is what the Scorpios are all about. To determine the phase of your Scorpios, you want to look at 1. How they view sex. 2. How they view love. 3. How they view their family. 4. How they view their past pain in relationships. And 5. How they view their vision and their plan for life. When you can determine all these things, you can determine the evolution of the Scorpio man. You can know if there's an ancient ass Scorpio man or a juvenile Scorpio man, the one that you want to avoid, or the one that you want to help evolve and leave alone. Alright? These ones you don't usually want to bond with unless you're very young. And then you understand how to navigate this world with the eagle. If you have an eagle for Scorpio man, how to help him evolve, how to have a good relationship with him. And then the Phoenix. Alright? You understand how to identify these men based on what I shared with you earlier. Now, if you want more help with this and done for you templates, helping you identify the ancient Scorpio man, helping you identify the Phoenix, helping you identify the juvenile Scorpio, helping you identify the eagle, helping you know if this man is quality and if he's evolved or if he ain't shit, so you can avoid headaches in relationships and you can experience the best love that you deserve. Just hit the link in the description below or keep scrolling down and you'll find out more information. What I've created here is information compiled from literally decades of study. Scorpio men, understanding them, understanding relationships, understanding the life path that they go through, and understanding what makes them tick and what makes them who they are. Hey, what's up? It's your man Jay from Alternate Timeline. I hope you're enjoying this video. So I want to invite you to check out our members only special video. In the members only section, you have full, uncut, exclusive podcasts that go deeper into the concept of Scorpio man, twin flame, what to do to deal with that, and many, many, many more things that I cannot say to the public.